G'day everyone, I'm Dave. Hope you're well. Thanks for joining me yet again. Okay, today, interesting because yesterday, Mr. Musk and the team at XAI released Grok 4. And as I said, it's mind-blowing. And I thought to myself, I'm sure I remember saying this about a year ago on my thailand.com.ai channel. So I want to go back and just revisit some of the ideas I had a year ago. It's literally a year ago to the day. So that will be interesting. Then I've also want to show off about some new SEO stuff that I've been talking about for ages that everyone's just finally catching up on. It was pretty obvious that the AI is searching for the truth and you need to get your conversation out there about your brand. So we'll have a look at that. And then the exciting news is definitely stick around at the end because I will show you the latest iteration of my we'll try Sutherland Sally and Chiang Mai Maya, okay? We'll use those two as an example of the journey that I've been going on by creating the Own the Conversation part of different types of domains, that including towns and cities. But anyway, okay, well, I stumbled across, I wouldn't stumble across, actually a bit of a blast from the past. This time last year, we'll go down here and have a look. This is a video from literally a year ago. So let's have a look at what I was talking about. I look younger. I got a different shirt on. A lot of people comment on the shirt. Red one.
G'day and welcome back to the channel. Hope everyone is well. It's been a little while since I've produced a video, but this week we are looking at a couple of things. We'll catch up with some news on AI. There's actually been a very big dearth of AI news in Thailand, actually. Not much happening at all. Been very quiet over the last week or so. But there's lots of interesting AI stuff happening. Backdating a little bit, obviously the Apple launch was very big, where they basically are introducing voice and video are two very big cutting edge ways that AI will progress quite quickly. So today I'd like to talk about a couple of those. Now, rather than me just regurgitating what other people that know what they're talking about, a bit like the good old university days where you needed to make references to your sources. Now you can actually use video. I think it's great. If someone's actually talking about something they know about, you're trying to present an argument. I'm actually not trying to present an argument. I'm just basically trying to present what AI is doing, in my opinion. I can see where things are actually going, and it's backed up by my argument of other people, I think. So it's a bit like the modern day university scholar can reference video. Video is certainly going to be huge, and it is interesting some of the things that people are saying today. So anyway, I'll put them on and we'll have a look. But there's a couple of key points when it comes to large language models, and we now know that NVIDIA, for example, are tussling to be, the most valuable company, the second most valuable, the third most valuable. But either way, the power of compute, the power of chips, the power of CPUs, GPUs to run these large language models, the transform platforms that they use, they are basically got to the point where they know that scaling will produce more and more data. But the science now is actually looking at the training of the large language model, of basically as much data that they can get, becomes the general training, and then we drill down to more specific training, like more purpose-built training for agents. Or we might have an LLM that's a specialist in medical, an LLM that's a specialist in mechanics on Mercedes-Benz models, number E17 to E18, whatever. So we'll drill down and we'll make sure the accuracy of these models is right. So that's the...
Okay, so the reason that I showed you that is, again, in 1 year, it is just mind-blowing. And what prompted me to actually do that, which is the word of the month, prompt, was the fact that Elon Musk and XAI team released Grok 4, which we'll have a look at now. Now, just briefly there about NVIDIA, right? So everybody knows that the way to get more powerful and get to supercomputers and get to super intelligence is more compute, right? So when last year the whole NVIDIA, the shares dived because of DeepSeek, China can do it for less and all this sort of stuff. People really don't understand how AI works, right? It's all about intelligence and buying intelligence and building intelligence. That's what I've been talking about in my videos. So let's start at the very top. Richest man in the world. He just bought a whole stack of intelligence. Speaking about NVIDIA, I can't say it any better than we got to love the way the Americans love money. So let's have a quick look at this and see what this man's got to say.
Call me at 1-800-743-CMC or tweet me at Jim Cramer. NVIDIA. Own it, don't trade it. That's been my advice for about $3.7 trillion in market capitalization. Today, NVIDIA became the first $4 trillion company. And it's hard not to celebrate the success of this business or the man behind it, Jensen Huang, who has truly changed the world, your world.
Okay, I totally agree with that. He really has changed the world. So, it's not going anywhere, folks. They've just spent a fortune on becoming the largest company in the world, $4 trillion. Now, a year ago, I was saying that it's going to continue to grow because it's all about chips. I'm not trying to predict the future. I'm just trying to paint the picture that how rapidly this stuff is moving. So let's go back and talk about intelligence. Now, they released Grok 4 yesterday. So here's some snippets. Whether you like Elon Musk or you don't like Elon Musk, he's a very interesting character. But the one thing I will say, he sort of does things. So I like people that do things. Let's have a look at the launch of Grok 4. This is really interesting. I'll show some snippets on this.
In a world where knowledge shapes destiny, one creation dares to redefine the future. From the minds at XAI, prepare for Grok 4. This summer, the next generation arrives. Faster, smarter, bolder. It sees beyond the horizon, answers the unasked, and challenges the impossible. Grok 4, unleash the truth, coming this summer.
All right, welcome to the Grok 4 release here. This is the smartest AI in the world, and we're going to show you exactly how and why. And it really is remarkable to see the advancement of artificial intelligence, how quickly it is evolving. I sometimes compare it to the growth of a human and how fast a human learns and gains conscious awareness and understanding. And AI is advancing just vastly faster than any human. We're going to take you through a bunch of benchmarks that Grok 4 is able to achieve incredible numbers on. But it's actually worth noting that Grok 4, if given the SAT, would get perfect SATs every time, even if it's never seen the questions before. And if even going beyond that to, say, graduate student exams like the GRE, it will get near perfect results in every discipline of education. So from the humanities to languages, math, physics, engineering, pick anything. And we're talking about questions that it's never seen before. These are not on the internet. And Grok 4 is smarter than almost all graduate students in all disciplines simultaneously. It's actually just important to appreciate that's really something. And the reasoning capabilities of Grok are incredible. So there's some people out there who think AI can't reason, and look, it can reason at superhuman level. Yeah, and frankly, it only gets better from here. We'll take you through the Grok 4 release and show you the pace of progress here. I guess the first part is in terms of the training, we're going from Grok 2 to Grok 3 to Grok 4. We've essentially increased the training by voice.
Great. Abby?
So many of you have been enjoying our voice mode, and we've been working hard to improve the experience over the past couple months. We have cut latency in half to make it much snappier. And today we're excited to announce a set of new voices that have exceptional naturalness and prosody. You have noticed the movie trailer voice that opened up the live stream. That is one of our new voices, Sal, who's got that epically deep tone. And we're also excited to introduce Eve, a beautiful British voice who's capable of rich emotion. Aman, would you like to introduce Eve?
Absolutely. Yeah, let's get into the demo. Hey, Eve. Millions of people are watching us right now. Are you excited?
Oh, I'm thrilled, really. It's like being on stage at the Old Vic with a sea of faces out there. Just imagine all those eyes and ears tuned in. It's a proper buzz, isn't it? What do you reckon we should chat about to keep this lot entertained?
We have a lot to talk about, but I'll be honest, I'm feeling a little nervous. Can you whisper something soothing to calm me down?
You've got this. It's just having a quiet chat, like we're tucked away at corner pub. The world's not out there. Feel that calm. Let's keep it nice. What's on your mind?
You know what? I'm actually feeling quite relaxed to try this something crazy. So can you give us an opera on Diet Coke?
Oh, an opera on Diet Coke. That's a riot. Picture this, a shimmering silver can, glistening under stage. Oh, Diet Coke, thou elixir divine, with bubbles that dance in a sparkling line. Thy crisp, cool kiss on lips so fine. Oh, aspartame, ambrosia, forever mine. How's that for a mad little aria?
Do you need to?
Want me to belt out another verse or switch up the tune?
Okay, let's try switching it up and just start singing.
Right.
So we can see there that what it basically boils down to is the more compute you've got, the more intelligence you've got. And there's just a classic case in point. That's starting at the top. NVIDIA, now 1 year on, $4 trillion company, #1 company in the world, and will continue to grow because the demand for chips all around the world will continue to increase. Once you get a hold of intelligence, you're not going to let it go. There is no going back. Sam Altman has talked this week about there is no going back. AI is totally out of the bag now, okay? And this just goes to prove it. You've got the world's richest man who's just released the most powerful AI, which will soon, no doubt, be competed by, Perplexity and particularly OpenAI with ChatGPT-4. The curve is exponential. It is not going to stop. But now we need to seriously look at how we're going to benefit from this curve. Yeah, so we'll just go down here and we'll have a look at what Neil Patel has to say. He's a very well-known a YouTuber, I guess, but basically he's the CEO of a very big SEO company. Look at that, too many anagrams there. But anyway, let's have a look at what he's got to say. It's very, very interesting the way things have changed, particularly with the Google update. So we'll see what he's got to say. What I've said about questions.
Most people think Google's AI features are shrinking traffic and that's killing SEO, but that's a wrong way to look at it. So what's actually happening? Google is becoming more like ChatGPT, and people are typing in full-blown questions more than ever. In fact, question-based searches have exploded from 38% to 87% in just 8 months. Why did this spike? Because these AI features are making Google way more useful. Consumers have gotten a lot more sophisticated since ChatGPT hit the scene. They're not typing in basic keywords anymore. They're asking real questions and expecting full answers right
in
on
conversational
the
form.
Here's the bigger shift no one's talking about. Daily Google searches have jumped from 8.5 billion to 13.
That would be driven by AI assistants and agents as well.
That's over 5 trillion searches a
not
year
just humans.
and climbing. It's not that more people are online. It's that they're searching more often because Google's
people aren't
answers
searching more often.
keep
People's
getting better.
agents are
So
searching
while
more
everyone
often.
is panicking about losing clicks, the real opportunity, there are more searches than ever and more chances for your brand to be seen if you know how to show up in a new format. I'm going to start with AI overviews because mastering these prepares you for AI mode and everything else Google has planned for its AI ecosystem.
Okay, so how do you show up? How do you get there? All right, again, it's all to do with conversation. So let's have a look, go on a little bit more where he's got here the AI mode. And this is where we need to change our ideas and our train of thought.
If Google's AI overviews are the appetizer, then AI mode is a full course meal. Most people are still trying to wrap their head around AI overviews, but they haven't seen what's coming with Google's AI mode. This isn't just a feature, it's a whole new search experience. Here's what makes AI mode different. It replaces the search results page with a full-blown AI conversation. It answers multi-part, long-tail, content-heavy questions instantly. It pulls from sources you can't always see, and often doesn't link back. And it's trained to behave more like a research assistant than a search engine. In traditional SEO, you had visibility and control. You could see what people search for, what keywords you rank for, what pages were showing up. But in AI mode, you type in one question and behind the scenes, Google runs 10, 20, even 30 hidden sub-searches using something called query fan-out technique. Each sub-query is like a separate Google search that AI runs silently in the background to build its answer. Let me show you what that really means. Say I ask AI mode, when is the best time this week to schedule an outdoor engagement photo shoot in the Boston Public Garden? That looks like one search to you, but to the AI, it's dozens of micro searches all stitched together behind the scenes. It's likely searching for Boston weather forecast this week, best lighting for outdoor photo shoots, Boston Public Garden crowd times, photography golden hour calculator, tips for outdoor engagement shoots in Boston, sunset times in Boston, June 2025. In the old Google, you would have had to run all those searches manually. It's like a detective piecing it together step by step. AI mode collapses all the effort into one single answer. It simulates the behavior of a professional web surfer, someone who knows how to dig, compare, and synthesize before giving you a fully researched recommendation.
Okay, so that is really important. It's not about now just being, okay, well, we're #1 when it comes to, I don't know, Ugg boots or whatever the subject happens to be. When someone asks a conversational question, which they're all doing, and obviously the next move is going to be voice, which we've already discussed at length. So someone asks a conversational question, to Google, which is still the largest search engine in the world, let's face it, but every other LLM works on exactly the same principle. What it does, it just doesn't go number one, oh, there's Google, someone's paid this ad, this is what we're going to regurgitate and tell the user. It will do the research. It's searching for the truth. It's searching for the conversation. That example he just gave. If you were in Boston and you were running a business in Boston and there was conversation about your business and it related to a search that wasn't directly about your business, you can get referenced in the search. You can be found by the LLM. You can be referred and recommended by the LLM, which, as we know, will increase your chances of closing a sale by 300% plus. It's a whole different ballgame, but you need to be in the conversation to be able to do this. We'll go on and we'll have another quick look and see what else this man has to say.
That's what Larry fan out really means. Your initial...
Put this here, put this here, and go down to here, and come up to here, and we'll have a look at what else.
Right, then they buy. And here's a real kicker. Google's AI search features cite brands the same way a news anchor cites trusted sources. If AI drops your name in that summary, you're suddenly front of mind without even getting a click.
Okay, so that is the next thing. We're building the truth. If the AI recommends something, you are more likely to trust that and you're more likely to purchase at that point. So the whole thing is, I'm backing up my argument with own the conversation. What my system does, it creates genuine information from your business that you can have your users answer to build up your profile, your brand on the internet, ready for this agentic age. Because as we've said before, it's the AI agents that realistically are going to be looking for this stuff, not humans. I've just redone all the sites to make them look pretty for humans, but behind the scenes, it's all ready for the AI and ready for the current search engine crop to be able to go through an index to give you the information. And the way that information will come back to you will be by your friendly AI assistant and a lovely voice eventually. And if your lovely voice tells you to go and buy something, you've got a very good chance of buying it. So you need to be out there.
Yeah, so we'll go down and we'll have a look at what I've been doing here and the latest on the updates. So just recapping, if we go down here now, we can see one of the sites. I've got Bondi Bronte. Now, remember when I first started, what I wanted to do was ensure that the actual way that I did this with the pages being produced was valued and was being indexed by search engines. I deliberately did not add any bells and whistles. I just wanted the raw output to make sure that the search engines recognize that. So if we now have a look here at the Sutherland Shire, right, which is Sutherland Sally, we can see she was only launched way back a couple of months ago, and straight away she was indexed, which was great. But more importantly, as Google has introduced the AI search mode and really basically cracked down on sites that are garbage because, you know, there's so much garbage out there floating around, I survived that by the looks of it, and that has been taken on board, right? So we can see here that the indexing has not changed. If anything, which this point was here, where a lot of the other sites got indexed, they valued. Now, I've added some stuff. Now I could prove that just this raw text, okay, so just this basic text was fine. Then what I did is I introduced basic images. Now those images improved the situation of what's going on. So a lot of people said to me, they said, Dave, okay, your site looks great, but it doesn't look that great. Can you dress it up a bit? So I said to them, look, the problem is I can dress it up straight away, but that's slanting to make sure that what I've got, that my solution actually does work. We need to test the process. We can't just come out with some super whiz-bang site and say, oh, it's all AI and it's all working. I have built this from the ground up, testing over the last year, seeing the results. So now the final part of it is to make the site look pretty. So for humans, it looks pretty. It's all totally optimized for the AI, and we're using multiple levels of intelligence. And this is what I want to talk about in this section, right? You need to get your head around intelligence. The more intelligence you can access, the greater outcomes you can get and the best results you can get. So going from the straight text to adding some basic images, what I decided to do was really dress some things up. So if we have a look here at Chiang Mai Maya, I'll put myself up here out of the way. So we can see here that good old Chiang Mai Maya, I've revamped Chiang Mai Maya to make it totally interactive. So, and we're also expanding and letting people know about the other AI assistants that we have. So we're networking and interlocking all these AI assistants. So we're like building a raft. We're adding and adding and adding. We've got a very strong base and we're now just dressing it up to make it look pretty. Okay, so what the new features are. Rather than just a static picture, of course, we can do some fancy good stuff here, but check this out.
I want to ask a message here to Chiang Mai Maya. I'm going to say, what is a good, quiet place to read a book in a park. All right. So I've asked a question to Chiang Mai Maya about Chiang Mai, and watch what happens here. So the AI is already answering the question from the knowledge files. From those knowledge files, the answer will come either from A, the knowledge file, which is the main knowledge file, B, all the other questions and answers that are fed back into the knowledge file, the general training data of the AI assistant, and then also the World Wide Web. So we've got our answer here, right? For a peaceful spot to enjoy reading, Chiang Mai Park considered beautiful, tranquil locations, right? So it's given us some locations here. Now, watch what happens here when I refresh the page. So automatically, every time there's a new question asked, this page will refresh with the new question, and there's also a pin on the map for the question that you've just asked and where you can find things. So automatically, it's interactive. So these will be rolling questions. Every time a question is asked, these new links will appear. We can go straight to that question just to have a look at what's going on. Right, we can see there the pages now have all the different links to all the different subjects. The H1 tag and the H2 tag line up with the question, what language exchange spots are for foreigners? There we are for H1 and H2, that will constantly rotate. There's the answers that we've got. So they're quite comprehensive answers. We'll shoot back home here for a minute. Okay, so this page is really the interactive page. If I scroll down, I've put some other useful information on there, like the current weather of the location, the PM 2.5, which is a very big thing, particularly in Chiang Mai, exchange rates, the news in Thailand today, and on this day. It's always good to have something to come back and have a look at. And then I've cross-linked to all the other sites that I've got that fit neatly down there. So this is a big major improvement. I really would like to see the figures. So if we go here and we have a look at Chiang Mai's figures, we can see straight away, when I released the stuff, I had to test to make sure that the AI creation, the content that I'm creating, which is very carefully manicured, is actually recognized as conversation. And we can see here that that is building and building. So now it will be very interesting to see how this expands up. So stay tuned. Now, just going back, now we'll go to Sutherland, right? So I've done the same setup with Sutherland. We've got all the questions, all the answers. This is that's why I'm not in Sydney. It's freezing, 15 degrees. Okay, so there we have it. I can now scale and expand these. I will continue to work on the rest of the sites, but I'll show you how the difference between this is. Okay, it's great to have a nice site, but you're actually getting a value product. So for example, when you go to Chiang Mai Maya, right, one of the big features of using AI is we're using multiple intelligence. Multiple intelligence. Let's run through it again. Number one, first AI assistant agent takes the question, finds the answer from the knowledge file. There are 3 different stages of knowledge files, so we have a lot of control over the conversation. We have manicured, so the conversation is a legitimate answer. Okay, comes back with a really good, powerful answer. The next AI takes that answer, sanitizes that answer, checks that answer for no obscenities or no racist comments or anything, then publishes that directly live to the page straight away. But our greatest feature is the fact that you can instantly put up your event. It does the same thing. It's a really strict AI that goes through and then publishes your event. So in this interface that I built back down here, let me just grab some questions and I just want to show an example. Okay, here's a very, very simple. I want to add an event. It's a very simple one line with the information of what the event's about. So all we basically do is in here, we paste this in, and I've got, hi Maya, please, hi Maya, promote my event, please. And then it's got the event, right? So what happens now is the first AI is analyzing this to see if it's actually a question. The second AI is going, oh, okay, well, it's a question, but it's also an event. So we want to add it to the events window. Right? Okay, so it's told me how I can actually add my event. All right. So it's done that. Now it's warned me that this is what you need to do. So it does not a matter of just dumping it in there. It actually recognized there's an event. So I've done what it said. It said, okay, you can promote your event. Just go, hey Maya, promote my event, please, which I've got here. Hey Maya, promote my event, please. And now what will happen is it will recognize that the event is actually an event. So here we go, the event promotion. So it's created the ad. And the user just does this directly because the AI is sorting out whether it's garbage or it's not garbage. Okay, so here's the event. We can see just that one line of text. We've now got an advertisement. Now, watch what happens when we refresh here. So we've got the latest events will just show up automatically with every event that's published. So everyone that uses the site will have an up-to-date latest event, which means for businesses, they can see straight away that they can promote their information. This is really big. Now, just a lot of people say, oh, okay, that's a lot of hard work. All right, well, there's some stuff. I'm just going to cut this. Look, this is just from some info you might already have. It's not even formatted, right? You can even do that. You've produced something, you want to promote your business. Let's pop this in here. Now we can see how massive that was. That's just a huge amount of text. We've just dumped it in here. There we go. Look at all that. It's put it into some form of order. It's even got the coordinates where the convention center is. It's got all the information. Now the AI can sit there and work out, is this actually an event? If it's an event, let's create an ad for the event. And that way we can actually put it out. Great news. Your event has been successfully promoted. All right. So it's recognized it's an event. It's created an advertisement for the event, and it will place that in the knowledge file straight away. So as soon as someone asks what is happening on this date or what, in the question, it can guide to what is actually going on. And we can see there's a comprehensive answer there with a link back. That is very important. I'll tell you why it's important from a marketing point of view as well. So let's refresh the page. We'll have a look down here at the latest published event. And we can see there the latest published event plus the one we did. These are rotating. This is all happening in live time. These pins are happening in live time. The update here is happening on live time. If we click on that, we can actually go and have a look at the latest events. And straight away, we've got a list of all the latest events and happenings around the place. Okay, so it is a very, very powerful thing. Going back to how we manage that. So let's have a look at the questions that would have rolled in here to the back end of the site. Double security login. And there we go, events and festivals. So it's recognized these events and festivals and it's put them in. So you can actually edit and alter the output of this, but the whole point is you now have an incredibly powerful tool that is built using AI intelligence. Okay, work this one out, all right? The picture behind me, oh, that's actually pretty good. Now, at the moment, if you wanted to start, let's say, how do I do my hand? That way, that was good. If you wanted to start a directory site before AI, and you wanted it to be as efficient as this, right? You maybe could have got away with about this much automation, maybe 10 to 15% using current computer stuff. You may, if you're a really clever programmer, manage to automate this much of the whole process, okay? But realistically, it's down to this level here. And this bit is all done by humans, okay? So let's have a look at the productivity here. With the invention, with my solution that I've spent a long time building, we are now this much automated, okay? All of this is automated. My hands are going everywhere. All of this is automated, and this little bit is done by the humans, okay? So you apply that to any business. If you have a productivity jump from there to here, you would have to be really silly not to be able to do well out of that. So if we take these sites as an example, I'll keep running and we'll keep explaining how they're going in the ether, but the productivity of using intelligence, using AI intelligence to compensate for what the humans do, all the boring stuff, answering the questions, creating the pages, sorting out the events, okay? What we can also do now, if you can imagine, is when people use this and local businesses use this, they can see their business are being referred by the AI. The AI is saying, hey, here's your coffee shop. So the AI can also generate a message to let the businesses know that their coffee shop is now being advertised. Up to them whether they want to be involved, but it really does take automation and the way you can do things, buying intelligence, to the next level. So we are right at the beginning. We can see in retrospect, 1 year ago, things are rocketing along, and like I said, with the release of Grok 4 yesterday, we now are getting very, very close to an amazing amount of intelligence. Like Elon Musk said, it is now smarter than any human on the planet. It can answer any subject on any topic all at once. All right, so you could be an expert in one field, but this is an expert in all fields. So you can tap into that intelligence, and businesses and companies that continue just to ignore it will find they will fall behind very, very rapidly. But anyway, I've not been the harbinger of doom. It's all very positive. It's a great time to be alive, and it's a great time to have AI on our side. We just need to know how to use it and not be scared of it. So hopefully you found this video informative, and I will catch you in the next one.